Now, I'll briefly introduce you to Zoroastrianism. So you got the background that where this Avesta comes, like why there are so much similarities with Vedic. We talked about a possible split. Then this basically Zoroastrianism. When I am saying Zoroastrianism, it comes with Zarathustra. So it is a religion established by Prophet Zarathustra. Otherwise, there is also word Mazdaism. So um, it is we worship Mazda. That's why it is Mazdaism. So in old Persian text we find it that Vashna Ahura Mazda. So by wish of Ahura Mazda. Uh, it shared deities basically from Indo Iranian pantheon that we have seen, and these are similar to Vedic deities. Zoroastrianism is henotheistic religion that I have mentioned, and is Ahura Mazda. It is usually the Ahura Mazda term. Ahura Mazda is translated as the wise lord, and it is a supreme deity. Then there are other divinities called they are called Yazatas. So I have mentioned Yazata is basically from the root Yaz, and uh, then Zoroastrianism also have dualistic character because this Ahura Mazda is there. Then there is some people consider it as a dualistic because there is Angra Mainyu who is the devil, basically the god of death. Uh, yeah, I have mentioned that I think in the beginning. Mazda and Medha, Asura Medha. That's why wise. So other divinities are called Yazata, uh, and this Yazata is basically worthy of worship. So, uh, and the root verb is Yaja. Basically, Yaja means worship. Basically, and now remember when we called Yajna in or Yaja, usually in Vedic terms it is called sacrifice, and the same cognate word to that, it is Yasna, is usually associated not with sacrifice, but it is associated with worship because there is no oblation inside the fire. Inside fire, like they can add sandalwood for in the morning and in the evening. Uh, the sandalwood, the fragrance can be added, but otherwise there is no oblation with the mantras. The ceremony is not like the Vedics, not like that, like oblating something in the fire. So that's why it is a dualistic character. So this Ahura Mazda is in constant fight against Angra Mainyu, and Angra Mainyu is demon. Now, these Zoroastrians perform the ritual mainly around fire and water. Also, they perform some rituals in front of sun. Uh, they are not very common, but otherwise, fire and water are very common. Next, please. Now, why fire? We see this cult of fire. So here is a mention that we find the I can send the references also. So there is 500,000 years ago we find the clear cut evidences of cooking, but of course there are some evidences that people had cooked meat in 2.3 to 8.8 million years ago, but they were not Homo sapiens, of course. So they are not humans. They were hominid species. And 2 million years ago, we find the controlled fire. And 1 million year ago, we see that this tending fire and everything was common. Now, fire had a major role in development of human. If many of you might be from Mumbai, so on CSTM, CSMT, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Terminus, on the roof uh, there is a imagery of progress. The deity is progress. So, so that deity of progress is holding uh, a torch with fire in one hand, and then in other hand there is will. So, will and fire are two very important things for human beings. Uh, they change the course of human history and also helped in this evolution. So, remember, fire contributed in human evolution a lot. So the uses like cooking for hunting, you might not be knowing mechanism, but in hunting, they used to frighten these animals by using fire, and then uh, they used to hunt them. So mm, actually, that hunting is not what you imagine, like bow and arrow. That was not the case. The hunting was very different case in till Paleolithic period. And then there is a protection from wild animals, because when there is a fire, the wild animal will not they will not come near fire. So that is for sure. Then uh, basically tools and weapon making, they used to heat these tools up and then put it in cold water, which used to toughen it, and all these loose flecks used to come out because of rapid expansion and contraction. In pottery, we know they used to bake the pots. Then, and then the very important thing which contributed most in human evolution, and which with even electric lamps and LEDs, it is what impacting us is actually it changes the circadian rhythm. So the cycle of day and night. Just imagine a Paleolithic person without a fire. So once sun sets, there is no fire. So all other humans also don't have fire. So uh, you are just in darkness. You might get some moonlight also, but otherwise your normal functioning is impossible. And what you will do, you will just sleep because you don't have anything else to do. uh, uh, with fire, it changed. And in the morning till sunrise, actually before sunrise, people used to get up and to go for hunting. So till they reach somewhere, uh, if the place where there are potential, uh, actually more potential to find some prey or something, some animals, so they used to get it, uh, get it from get that to that place early morning till sunrise or before sunrise. So that was the case. But with fire, basically in the night time, people can sit together and talk with each other. The group or tribe can sit together and talk around the fire. They can play the games. They can have some chit chatting around the fire. So that uncomfort was over, and there was a light security protection. And that's why the cohesion of human society together as a community together, it was made possible by fire, because there was change in circadian rhythm. So in the night you will ignite the fire, or you already have the fire which you will just tend. You will put more wood, and then you will sit chit chatting or playing some small board game like thing, or on floor or something. So you can do that. And your the human interaction was made, basically this complexity of society is also attributed to fire by many scholars. And that's why it was a change in human life, basically health, diet, and rhythm. So all these things changed because of fire, because we started eating cooked meal. And we could boil the water. We could And with cooked meal, even the bacteria and viruses, very ancient bacteria and viruses, which those people might have been facing, uh, uh, will get, what will not affect you, because you might kill the bacteria by using heat. And this is change in rhythm. And that's why there is actually the fire is so important, that there is this story of theft of fire in lot of cultures throughout the world. So all of you might be aware of some of the story, that there is somebody stole this fire. Same thing is uh, present in Zoroastrianism. And that's why the worship of fire, the respect about fire, it is called pyrolatry. Pyrolatry started. Next, please. Now we are going to see the Zoroastrian way. We are talking about this long inner ritual. It is Yasna ceremony. So the Vedic Yasna is cognated with Yajna in Rigveda, or Yajna in Vedic context. But there you offer something into fire. You offer something, and that reaches to the gods. Here you don't offer anything. You just offer some sandalwood, that's all. But otherwise, all these major ritual which happens in front of fire, but nothing is added to the fire. That is important to see. And the ritual starts with uh, taking out the milk from goat. Goat milk is necessary for that, and taking out the water from well, which is very close to. This is inner ritual. Remember, there is uh, y- there is another ceremony called Jashan ceremony, which is outer ritual, which is a minor ritual in Zoroastrianism, and basically it is connected. You know the word Jashna, Jashna manana. So Jashna is from Yasna, Yasna is from Yajna. Indo-European is also Yajna. So Yajna becomes Yajna in Vedic context, and it becomes Yasna uh, in uh, in Avestan context. So uh, so here this is usually Yasna ceremony is translated as Yasna is translated as worship. Always remember, and not translated as sacrifice. So this Yasna becomes Jashan. Actually, it becomes Jashan, and then in modern Persian, it becomes Jashna or Jashan. Uh, and it came to Gujarat, and then there are Zoroastrian Jashan ceremonies. So this is inner ritual. The only one inner ritual which is fully available, which is called Paragna. So this is Paragna ritual. There is a project based on this, which is called Muya project, multimedia Yasna project, where you can see the whole ritual in 2D format, which is interactive 2D, where you can click on the objects and check what is happening, and you can also see what mantras are being recited right now with English translation and in Avestan text, Avestan diacritic texts, uh, and with the translation also in English. So very interesting project. It was by SOAS University of London. It is called Muya Multimedia Yasna project. So this Yasna ceremony is documented now, Paragna. So this taking out, because I remember that till that project was not there, I need to only describe the things. Now I can show them, show everybody that how they create zautra, and so adding that milk with water, zautra. Uh, Basically, zautra is like a hotra in Vedic. Zau becomes ho, like Zaota becomes Hota. So Hota is related to Rigveda, the priest related to Rigveda. So here it is Zautra. Zaota is basically the priest who is. There are two priests, basically officiating priest who is performing is called Zaota, and then there is a Raspi who is the another priest. Now, uh, it is very complex ritual like Vedic, because there is a lot of similarities. Like there is a pounding of homa, there is eating of sacrificial bread, like pulling this padam up over. Remember, Zoroastrians put this padam. You can see in this photograph. It is not to pollute the fire or even the instrument, is the uttara and all, with your breathing also. So remember, so that's why this padam is put. Uh, So it is similar. Lot of similarities there are there with Rigvedic, but basically they are not offering anything in fire is very important. Basically, it is very similar to Rigvedic type of uh, understanding of the rituals. Like in Yajurveda, we have the complex ceremonies, but here they also have pounding of Homa, then pouring all this water. So usually, this whole cosmological uh, or cosmogonical, I should say, that origin of this universe and world and Avramada created everything and all these concepts, all these things are performed symbolically on table. Then there are moon-like stands are there, and then there are barisma. So barisma is actually the wires which are there. So these wires, there's a bundle of wires. Actually, they use this bundle of wires. It shows unity or something. Now the barisma they use brass wires for the ritual, but earlier they used to have pomegranate twigs. So this whole ritual, they need a white bull hair, which is mm, actually there is a ring which is they actually tie it around the ring, the white bull hair, and that is used very lot of symbolism, lot of things are there. It is a very complex, I am saying, ritual. Uh, but in Vedic context, if we see, there are multiple rituals, there are multiple sacrificial rituals present in Rigveda. Now here only Paragna is the only outer ritual which is present in its full, I'll say, in its full form. And now very few priests who are qualified and performing this Paragna ritual. Next, please. Now let's